Hi, and welcome to my July review. This is a very important month for you Leos because the Sun will be moving into your sign towards the end of the month. But the start of the month sees a tremendous aspect between Mars and Pluto, and this always generates incredible energy. And it's very ego-centered energy. It's very ambitious. It wants to achieve, wants to be successful. So you need to be careful you don't ride roughshod over people with this aspect. Now, Mars is in your ninth house. This is the house where you'll want to achieve. This is the house where you'll want to make a success. So the ninth house is about new adventures. It's about learning something new. So maybe a time when you want to really focus on learning something different. It's also the spirit of adventure, so maybe you're planning, getting ready to go on an adventure, and this is what you'll want to put your time and energy in. With Pluto in the 6th house is also related to your health and diet and exercise, so this is a time when you need to be wary of these things, because Pluto can trip you up if you don't pay attention to that area as well. So yes, use the Mars energy, use it positively. It's 3 days of this energy, but don't ignore the 6th house and your daily routines and your health. Then on the 2nd, we have Mercury making 2 aspects. Now this is not a good day to discuss finances, but it is a good day to do planning, because Mercury's making an aspect to Saturn in the 7th house. So it's a good day if you're in a partnership, whether it's business or love relationship, to start planning things and organising things. But it's not really a day to talk about finances, because Mercury makes an aspect to Neptune in that 8th house, and there's some confusion and it's not easy to communicate about this area of things, so leave that until another day. On the 5th, we have another fantastic aspect, this time with Mars moving into Taurus and the 10th house. Makes a positive sextile aspect to Mercury, who's just moved into Cancer in the 12th house. Now these two together, making this aspect, means that you can make the most of your initiative. You can do things now that will help you to succeed, and it's an ideal time to take any opportunities that come your way. But sometimes you make your own luck, and this is one of those instances. Both these planets are at 0 degrees. Now 0 degrees is the strongest and most powerful degree of the whole sign, so make the most of this intense, powerful energy. Then on the following day, we have an aspect between Venus and Chiron. Now Chiron's in that 9th house, Venus is in the 11th. It's a good day to take a philosophical view of things and maybe help a friend who's in need. Maybe it's time that you can help them by showing them the way forward in a more philosophical and compassionate way. It could be a bit of a frustrating day on the 8th as the Sun makes a square to Chiron. It's hard to express yourself, the Sun being in your 12th house. It may be difficult to voice your opinions. But on the 9th, there's a much better day because the Sun makes a positive aspect to Uranus. Now Uranus is in that house, the 10th house of career and destiny. So there's going to be changes happening over the coming weeks. Because there's a lot of aspects pointing to that area. So your destiny may change, your career may change, there's a lot of things that could change, your public standing could change. All these things are on the cards going forward. But we have confidence coming in as well on this day, because there's an aspect between Mercury and Jupiter, and this brings a great deal of confidence with it. On the 10th, it's a day when you may not quite understand what you're hearing. We have Mercury conjunct the Black Moon Earth in the 12th house of the unseen, the unhidden. So it's what you don't hear that's going to be more important than what you actually hear. And it may be that some people aren't telling the full truth, but you'll be able to understand this because you'll be tuned into the unconscious and the intuitive realm. Then on the following day, we have the Sun making an aspect to the Moon's North Node. Now this is also in your 10th house, and it may be a day when you have to make an important decision regarding your direction or your next turn of direction in life. This will be made easier by Venus having a positive aspect with Saturn, so you'll see the bigger picture, you'll be able to understand things very clearly. On the 13th we have a full moon. Now this full moon is in Capricorn and it's in your 6th house. Now the moon isn't very well placed in Capricorn, it's in detriment and is really not happy there. Capricorn stifles the feelings and emotions, so it makes it very clinical position for the moon to be in. Now this can be useful sometimes because this is in the work area and the area of your daily routine, so maybe there's time to get on and do things and you can leave your emotions aside. But if there is anything that needs to have an emotional touch to it, it's going to be very difficult to handle over the next couple of weeks. Now there are two other aspects that happen on this day. One is a square between Mercury and Chiron, so it'll be very hard for you to talk about things, and especially as the moon is unhappy in this position, it's going to be very difficult, almost impossible to express how you feel. Now the other aspect is between Venus and Neptune. There could be some internalizing, there could be some escapism that's going on here because you can't interact with your emotional side and you can't voice your opinion. It may be that you have these fantasies going on in your head as Venus makes this square to Neptune in the 8th house. As well, with the full moon being in the 6th house, it's time for change. It's time to change any bad habits. It's time to maybe have a new exercise routine or change your diet. It's time when you may look at yourself in the mirror and say, right, that's it, I'm going to make changes now. Mercury is very active between the 14th and 16th and makes three aspects. The first is a positive one to Uranus. Now this is going to bring new discoveries into your life, especially around the career and destiny line. And there could be things that you discover today which will have an impact on your future. The following day there's an aspect with the moon's north node, so it may be a good time to put these discoveries into some kind of practical form then, start to make decisions to make the changes necessary. And then on the 16th there's a conjunction with the Sun. Now this is going to last for a couple of days, but this conjunction is very good because it allows you to express yourself in the best possible way. The Sun being your core and your centre, connected to Mercury means you can express that. You can express from the heart and communicate with people in a heartfelt manner. The Sun combining with Mercury makes two important aspects. The first on the 17th is to Pluto. Now, Pluto's in that 6th house. We talked about the full moon in the 6th house. Now this is a time to implement all those changes, make sweeping changes. You have the power to do that now with this aspect of Pluto. This is a time of fantastic transformation. And then the other aspect these two make is to Neptune, and Neptune's in the 8th house. So now you'll be in sync with your intuition, and you'll be able to see exactly where you are and exactly what you need to do. Also it's a great time for exploring shared finances or money that comes in from other areas, and make budgets or plans. On the 19th we have Mars making an aspect to the black moon, and this is a positive aspect, but it does allow anger to come up from within, and because the black moon is in the 12th house of the unconscious, you may not even be aware that this is there, but it will bubble up from within. And this is a good time to discuss things, to get things out in the open. You've got 4 days of this aspect, so there's plenty of time to work with this energy. Then on the 20th we have Chiron going retrograde. Now Chiron's in your 9th house, so this will bring up issues relating to morals and ethics, and again it's a good time to get things out in the open, work with these issues and put them right. On the 23rd the Sun moves into your sign of Leo, and this is fantastic. You've been waiting for this for some weeks now, with it been stuck in the 12th house there in the unconscious area. It's now open in the open. Mercury's also moved into Leo as well a couple of days previous, so they're both together, and it's going to be a fantastic time. This is the time now for you Leos to own it, to boss it, to take control and to steer your life in the direction you want it to be. It's a time to be creative. Use your inner energy coming through your heart, and do whatever it is you need to do now, but do it with style and do it with great energy. Now on the 24th we have Venus making an aspect to Jupiter, and this can prone you to a little bit of overindulgence, so you just need to check back and make sure that you're not overdoing things. Your confidence and enthusiasm may be running away with you a bit, so you just need to be a little bit careful on the 26th, because Mars makes a square to Mercury. This can make you a little bit irritable, a little bit touchy of what other people say or do, so just be a little bit wary of that and be a bit more tolerant. Then on the 27th we have an aspect between Mercury and Chiron. Now this is good because it allows you to talk about things, allows you to talk about philosophical things or religious, spiritual things with great ease, and you can also listen and understand what other people have to say on these subjects as well. Then we have also another aspect between Venus and the Black Moon Lilith. Now this comes together in your 12th house unconsciously. You may not even be aware of this, but there will be thoughts going on in the background that come up from Moon that will draw you to certain people, maybe new people, maybe people of a certain attitude or certain enthusiasm. You'll be drawn to them, and it's a time as well when you will be generating some excitement through your unconscious. Your unconscious will be daring you to do things, so you just need to be a bit mindful that you don't overdo it. On the 28th we have the new moon. This is the new moon in Leo, your sign, and in the first house. This is where we get to really enjoy life. This is where you get to reinvent yourself in some way. This is where you work on your own personality or your look or your style, and you can make changes. This is fantastic. But also there is another aspect happening on this day which will bring even added surprises and good fortune, because we have Uranus and the Moon's North Node becoming conjunct in your 10th house of career and destiny. So there'll be changes not only to yourself and to your personality, but also within your career or your destined path and your public standing. So there'll be pleasant surprises, there'll be good things. You just need to put yourself out there. You need to embrace everything and take it on board and take the opportunities as they come. And be authentic. Everything a Leo does has to come through the heart, so you need to express yourself with heart. All the changes you make have to be heartfelt. We also have Jupiter going retrograde on this day. This is in your 9th house. This is the house of spirituality. So there's going to be a change in consciousness. There's going to be some tremendous soul growth going on as well while Jupiter is going retrograde. The new moon effect can last all year for you, Leos, because this is your birthday time. So there'll be changes and new things coming along throughout this time. The aspect between Uranus and the Moon's North Node lasts for 19 days. So again, it's time to work with this. And on the 31st, you've got a real boost because Mars comes in and makes a triple conjunction. Now this gives a real serious boost of energy and ambition to this aspect. So this will help you to clearly see your path ahead, and you'll be determined now to focus on that to move forward. And the confidence will be there as well because the Sun makes an aspect to Jupiter, so great confidence. And also there's an element of being able to plan because you have Mercury making opposition to Saturn, who's in your 7th house. So it's a good time to include others as well. Include others, maybe your partner or business partner or your family, and let them know what's going on so that you keep them on board. And it's good to balance your needs with the needs of others with this opposition as well. And then the last and final aspect is Venus to Chiron. So this will make you very understanding of people. This will make you quite philosophical in your outlook. And this will be great because with Jupiter in that 9th house as well, you're going to see changes within your beliefs and your outlooks, and these will all be positive. And this is going to be a great year ahead. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you. And happy birthday to all you July Leos.